반갑습니다. 지난번에 아보카도 ASMR에 이어서 이번에도 ASMR 아보카도 똑같이 이제 시작할 건데요. 101번부터 파트 1의 챕터 2 명사는 또한 글의 소재어이다 라고 해당하는 부분에 200번까지 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 교재가 있으신 분들은 같이 참고해 주시면 될 것 같아요. 코로나 아닙니다. 101번 Introduction 소개 도입 He released more than 40 albums and contributed to the introduction of phrase music to the larger American musical scene. Reinforcement 강화 The pull effect of a destination can be positively influenced by the introduction and reinforcement of pro-tourism policies that make a destination more accessible. Behavior, 태도, 행동. Biologists who study whale behavior generally have to be content with hanging around in boats, waiting for their subjects to surface. Theory, 이론. An alternative explanation is in terms of impression management theory. Research, 연구. There is strong research evidence that children perform better in mathematics if music is incorporated in it. Scholar, 학자. On this rests the distinction between the thinker and the mere scholar. Account, 설명. By nearly all insider and expert accounts, we are or will be at peak oil somewhere between now and the next 5 years. Assessment, 평가. The concept of the enemy is fundamental to the moral assessment of war. Agents, 행위자. The most obvious salient feature of moral agents is a capacity for rational thought. Colleague, 동료. This made him feel more self-confident and lessened his resentment toward his colleagues. Phenomenon, 현상. To modern man, disease is a biological phenomenon that concerns him only as an individual and has no moral implications. Evidence, 근거. However, evidence suggests that this trend is having negative consequences. Instance, 사례, 경우. In almost every instance, the book as originally written is the best. Expertise, 전문성, 전문 지식. Scientific and professional expertise often relies on a particular type of knowledge that is limited to utility and rationality considerations. Response, 반응. Cute, baby-like features are inherently appealing, producing a nurturing response in most humans. Manner, 방식. They must view their results in more positive manner. Statement, 언급. Although these simple statements provide some indication as to what customers are looking for, they have one major drawback. Incentive, 유인. People were not particularly motivated to produce more goods for stockpiling, as there was little incentive to do so where there was little security from rate. Audience, 관객, 청중. Cage believed the audience could feel music fully without the artist. Antibiotic, 항생제, 항생물질. Some fish farms tend to use several antibiotic drugs known to cause cancer to increase their production. Entity, 독립체. Information has become a recognized entity to be measured, evaluated, and priced. Brainstorming, 창조적 집단 사고. Partnerships will provide more support and allow more creative brainstorming. Transmission, 전염, 전달, 송신. Because of the transmission of identity from one generation to the next, most children share at least some traits with their parents. Transportation, 수송. Human transportive plants increased abundantly as our transportation technology developed. Impulse, 충동, 충격, 자극. Sometimes we make impulse judgments and dislike people without giving them a chance. Diameter, 지름, 배율. It consisted of carved stone wheels called fei, ranging in diameter from a foot to 12 feet. Interference, 간섭, 방해. But because of worries about interference, no metropolitan area has ever come close to using all 50 channels at its disposal. Deed, 행동. Never accepting pay for his good deeds, he lived his life for others. Irritation, 자극, 짜증. Sure enough, the button allowed them to stay calmer, make fewer mistakes, and show less irritation. Cause and effect, 원인과 결과. It is hard to believe that law has recognized the cause and effect relationship between the two. Framework, 뼈대, 틀, 체계. On entering the house, I examined the framework of the hall window with my lens. Infusion, 투입, 주입, 차. The company needs an infusion of new blood. Deterioration, 악화, 퇴보. Overgrazing of livestock resulted in further deterioration of the soil. Vulnerability, 취약성, 상처 입기 쉬운. But we need to add that the examined life is painful, risky, full of vulnerability. Symbiosis, 공생. New England's wealth was created by a symbiosis between the region's universities, its financiers, and its high-tech manufacturers. Agility, 민첩성. Planning experts who recommend strategic agility say managers need to balance planned action with flexibility to take advantage of opportunities. Indecision, 망설임. If you are indecisive and plan to do something about it, you can take immediate comfort in the fact that indecision is not necessarily due to ignorance and slow thinking. Separation, 분리, 구분. Silence caused division and separation, creating serious problems in relationships. Pervasiveness, 넘침, 충만함, 침투. This explains why time pressure is pervasive and, to some extent, accounts for the increase in rates of depression. Midwife, 산파, 조산사. Journeys are the midwives of thought. Promptness, 신속성. Your boyfriend might always show up late for dates in spite of knowing how important promptness is to you. Divergence, 일탈, 확산. There is a divergence of opinion on that point. Toss, 던지기. But of course, a piece of wood tossed into water floats instead of sinking. Deployment, 배치, 전개. Within this deployment of power, commercial media ensures that consumers adopt values and beliefs that match the general requirements of the economy. Manifestation, 징후. Warm temperatures and budding flowers are manifestations of spring. Trial, 시도. After hundreds and hundreds of trials, these chimps could not learn to withhold pointing to the larger reward. Deteriorate, 악화되다, 더 나빠지다. The discussion quickly deteriorated into an angry argument. Product, 산물, 결과물. The final product is really an addition to reality, not simply a way of totally reproducing it. Efficiency, 효율성. Although efficiency also lowers prices, it does come at a cost. Conclusion, 결론. It would be unwise to jump to conclusions about what a child is communicating through it. Outcome, 결과. We like to keep guessing as to the outcome. Result, 결과, 결실. I got my exam results today. Resolution, 결의안, 해결. They refused to comply with the UN resolution. Consideration, 고려, 생각. In spite of such a consideration, I decided to help her eat, and she accepted my kindness. Effect, 영향, 효과. There is a possibility that touching sensitive areas such as the hands or face will have the same effect on people. Fruit, 결과, 보상. Purpose then justifies their efforts. It exacts only conditionally by their fruits. End, 목적, 목표. She was working for the hunger project whose goal was to bring an end to hunger around the world. Reward, 보상. Her reward was a rich and fulfilling life with the prince. Promotion, 추진. It also adds that such promotional activities could influence children to have unhealthy diets. Likelihood, 가능성. There is very little likelihood of that happening. Modification, 개정, 수정. Jim ran his drills with rare modifications over the course of 3 decades. Correlation, 연관성, 상관관계. For instance, there is a high degree of correlation between shoe size and vocabulary size. Trademark, 상표, 트레이드마크. The nickname Red was a natural nickname because of his red hair, and it became his trademark. Possibility, 가능성. But life gets its edge from the possibility of its ending. Opportunity, 기회. She reminded them that life is too short not to lend a helping hand when the opportunity arises. Enhancement, 상승, 향상, 증대. This is equipment for the enhancement of sound quality. Side effects, 부작용. Scientists are looking into disease in search of medicines that may work better with fewer side effects than conventional drugs. Symptom, 증상. The disabling neurological symptoms were subsequently called Minamata disease. Stamp, 흔적, 우표, 도장. Collecting stamps, for example, shows them cultures or historical events of a country. Byproduct, 부산물. In contrast, most plastic is manufactured using only byproducts and natural gas. Longevity, 장수. Exercise and diet are important, but they are not the only keys to longevity. Fertilization, 비옥화, 수정. It gives a plant its scent and may also drive away insects, attract bees and wasps for fertilization of the plant's flowers. Fatality, 치사율, 사망자 숙명론. Why, in country after country that mandated seatbelts, was it impossible to see the promised reduction in road accident fatalities? Resonance, 공명, 울림. His left hand produced thundering, repetitive bass riffs as a way of covering up the piano's lack of resonance. Causation, 야기. Experience does not seem to force the concept of causation on us. Fallacy, 오류. Even worse than reaching a conclusion with just a little evidence is the fallacy of reaching a conclusion without any evidence at all. Coincidence, 우연의 일치, 동시 발생, 일치. As if that was not coincidence enough, more was to follow. Inconsistency, 불일치, 모순. But they never noticed the following inconsistency. The so-called worst-case event, when it happened, exceeded the worst case at the time. Intolerance, 과민, 과민증, 편협. An intolerance to dairy products. Mixture, 혼합물. Performers project to an audience a mixture of their own feelings and the composer's intentions. Aggravation, 악화, 도발. The drug may cause an aggravation of the condition. Alleviation, 완화, 경감. The government is committed to increasing funding for poverty alleviation, education, and health. Ramification, 파생된 문제, 영향. I also suggest have a managers meeting to discuss why so much overtime has been necessary and what the ramification of reducing overtime authorizations will be. Transcendence, 초월, 탁월성. This process creates an illusion of neutrality and implies the transcendence of the pitfalls and inequalities commonly associated with policymaking. Leverage, 영향력, 지렛대의 힘. That is why a third party with leverage is required. Biologist, 생물학자. Greg Marshall works as a marine biologist for National Geographic. Pollination, 수분. For better yield of mustard seeds, pollination is necessary. Array, 배열, 배열하다. My hope is that architects will be drawn to designing gorgeous arrays and solar towers in the desert. Fragrance, 향. The bath oil comes in various fragrances. Molecule, 분자. When gravity-induced stress exceeds the force that holds the particles of water or ice together, the atoms and molecules slip past each other downslope. Volume, 부피. When people are overwhelmed with the volume of information confronting them, they have difficulty knowing what to focus on. Fluid, 액체. As improbable as this may seem, the bodily fluids of aquatic animals show a strong similarity to oceans. Pupil, 눈동자, 학생. How many pupils does the school have? Observation, 관찰. Scientists can lessen bias by running as many trials as possible and by keeping accurate notes of each observation made. Evolution, 진화. For a long time, anthropologists believed that all human societies would progress through a known series of phases of evolution. Extinction, 멸종. Prehistoric peoples changed their surrounding ecosystems, whether by installing orchids in the Amazon or by hunting many large mammals to extinction in North America. Evaporation, 증발. During the winter in the northern hemisphere, water evaporates from the ocean and accumulates as ice and snow on high mountains. Gravity, 중력. You undoubtedly learned in your elementary science class that Sir Isaac Newton discovered gravity. Biochemical, 생물학의 생물체. The biochemical industry studies the chemical processes in living organisms. Immune system, 면역체계. Our immune systems are killing billions of germs right now. 자, 이미 자고 있는 학생들도 있을 거고 지금 불면증을 겪고 계신 분들은 이거를 이제 자기 전에 켜놓으시면 잠이 잘 오실 거예요. 네, 오늘 밤도 잘 자고 내일 아침에 상쾌하게 일어나서 공부 시작하도록 합시다. 다음번에 봅시다.